Rockers. So, tonight I want to talk to you guys about a band called And You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead. Now, you may ask, why am I bringing this particular band up? Well, it's pretty unique. There's been a big resurgence, thank God, by the way, in quadraphonic sound over the last couple of years, especially with, I'd say the last 10 years, with all the super audio CDs, Blu-rays, DVD audios even coming out of these quad mixes in the 70s. But something unique here, and it was brought to my attention in our quad traders group. I think it was Will that, I forget if it was a post on there or if he sent me a private message and told me about this album. I'm like, what the hell, I'll get it. I really don't know how to describe them as far as genre goes. They're a band that, in my opinion, you can't really put into a box. Every song on the album sounds different, and every song on the album's good. They are two things that are very hard to find. And technically speaking, I don't know, it might be. I didn't really check the timing to be exact, but okay, yeah, it does fit on what I'm. This is just the CD. But the Blu-ray, which is in the machine now, has a 4.0 discrete quadraphonic mix. And I gotta tell you, it has everything you would want in a surround mix. It has panning, things swirling around the room, guitars in the back, guitars up front, drumming going everywhere, vocals everywhere. It's just sick. There's like 20 some songs on this album. And there's two quadras, a DTS and then a Dolby 4.0. The DTS is 24-bit, so I'm assuming that's probably the better one. I really don't get too technical usually. But anyway, look at this artwork, man. Check it out. It's like something that Tool would come out with. Has the lyrics and everything like that. I'm typically not a big fan of digipacks, which this is, but in their defense, I mean, you're really not going to fit all that into a jewel case, so give them a free pass. Now, yes, I do keep everything in the plastic wrap. Like I said, it has a hype sticker on it, so I will slide this back into the plastic wrap to preserve it and keep it in good shape. But turn the loudness up. And a lot of songs in this album make the oscilloscope go crazy. So like I said, it's a very discreet, very active mix. Like I said, the music to it, I'd say it's hard rock, alternative, indie, whatever. Like I said, you can't really put them in a bucket. Each song sounds different. Like I said, this album came out in 2022, and that's what's unique about it, because not many bands, if any of them, really release quad anymore. Quad's basically all re-releases of old albums. The only quad mixes that are really coming out are the ones that fans like myself, some of the guys in Quad Traders, are making themselves, which I showed you guys how to do that in the previous video. Now, another reason I'm talking about this band right now, and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, is because I sent them a message on Facebook. I didn't even expect to get a reply. I said, hey man, I thought your album was really badass, especially a quad mix. Do any of your other albums have a quad mix? If so, I'm interested in the title so I can seek them out. And if not, is there any chance that you guys would mix some of your older ones up for quad, or maybe your next one being quad? Now, these guys have been around apparently since the 1990s. I did a little bit of research on them, but not really enough to go on a schmeal and tell you about their history. But they got back to me, and they were actually really amazed that somebody actually was listening to this in pure quad the way it was supposed to be. Like, look at that, the oscilloscope's going nuts. Sounds great. The fidelity is spot on too. So they're all well-written songs. The production of the album is fantastic. But we got the bullshitting about quad, and they said they were like amazed by the fact that there were people making quad mixes of old albums at home, and they said to me, is like, did you ever by chance make any quad mixes of the old Genesis albums, like Selling England by the Pound, Foxtrot, Trespass, Nursery Crime, from Genesis to Revelation? The answer is no. However, they did not all come in yet. In fact, this is the only CD that came in yet. It's the remastered version from 2017 from the Definitive Collection. Very high quality sound. And I have only 3 more songs left to mix of it. So for this band right here, I am making a quadraphonic mix of Selling England by the Pound. I'm making a quadraphonic mix of Foxtrot, making a quadraphonic mix of Trespass, and I'm making a quadraphonic mix of Nursery Crime. I might do from Genesis to Revelation, but I'm having a hard time finding a clean copy of it. But yeah, I don't really get too many encounters like this. I'm actually having a pretty decent month as far as meeting different new people and common interests, but I thought that was pretty badass that these guys are actually interested in our, small communities' homemade mixes. I guess they have the equipment to play it, so I try my best to make my content as compatible with modern equipment as possible, because I know most people are not listening on something like this. Most people are listening on modern day equipment. And that being said, I feel like equipment compatibility is just as important as the content itself. So for the band, And You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, I thank you for this wonderful rockin' album. I thank you for taking quad into consideration. I thank you for the awesome packaging. Like, this is what makes physical media so special. You're not gonna get the multi-channel from streaming, although I think they have Atmos now, but I'm not a big fan of Atmos at all. Nothing I tried so far folded down good to 4.0 like 5.1 does. 5.1, if the mix is good, sounds great in quad. I am not going to share this album. And the reason I'm not going to share this album is because I'm trying to promote this. I want people to buy this. I want people to listen to it and hear it for themselves on the physical media. Because, with all honesty, that's the way to go. We have to support digital media. Now, I did digitize this album. Well, it's technically already digital, but I made a copy of this album for Flax for myself so I can have it on my hard drive. I am, for convenience purposes, I am not sharing this album. The album is, maybe if the album wasn't in print, I'd say maybe. But what I will do, it's not going to be today or tomorrow. You got to give me some time because I work all weekend and I have a busy couple days next week coming up. So I'm probably not going to get much time to mess with music too much. But I will make like a 3-minute mashup of some highlights from the album that I thought stood out to share. And I'll put the link in the description for this YouTube video to the WeTransfer download when I make that track. But it'll be like a 3-minute clip of some mashup from different parts of the album, just so you guys can hear it for yourself if you're interested. And I'll share it for the guys at Quad Traders too. That way, if they're undecided about this, it'll change their mind. Like I said, I want to get this out there. This is really special. 2022 album in quadraphonic. We want this to sell. We want all the stuff to sell. I do not share my Flax of official releases. Like, for example, I also just did this Poco CD, or Super Audio CD. I copied that, to my Tascam recorder as well, so I can make Flax of it. But that's for my hard drive here, so I can flip through it at ease. You know what I mean? Like, what I will share is I will share the ones I made myself. I don't have a problem doing that. If I made it myself, it's not an official release. I will share an official release if it's out of print. But as far as like releasing a CD or a Super Audio CD or a Blu-ray that's in print that you can buy, I'm sorry, I won't do it. We need to support physical media because that's how the artists get paid, and that's how the companies say, hey, these guys are really interested. We need to make more multi-channel CDs or Super Audio CDs, Blu-ray, whatever the format of choice may be. I'd even be okay with FLAC downloads, but as of right now, they don't really seem to do that. So, yeah, most of these are actually homemade mixes by myself and other people. Like I said, I would share the Guitar Man because I made that. I would share Third Stage because I made it. Boston, I'd share that. I will not share Bob Dylan Blood on the Tracks because you can still buy it. I will not share any of the Elton Johns because you can still buy it. Santana's, you can still buy them from CD Japan. So you guys are getting my drift here. So out of respect for these guys, I will not upload the album, but I will make a 3-minute mashup so you guys can sample them and check them out for yourselves. That being said, rock on. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.